What's up, everybody? I am back with another review for you. This one being War Games Volume 16 of Iron Man, covering 1990 to 1992 and issues 258 to 277 of Iron Man. This right here, guys, is the complete run of John Byrne's writing, not his penciling. For whatever reason, John Byrne did absolutely no artwork on this set of stories. He was aided and abetted by John Romita Jr., later by Paul Ryan and Mark Bright, or MD Bright, as he called himself. 20 issues, guys. Just 20 issues straight through of Iron Man. No annuals, no crossovers, nothing at all to break the flow of the stories. I know I mentioned, like, in volumes 14 and 15, the writing was going down. I'm not going to even say kind of or sort of going down. It was going down. I will say this actually was quite refreshing. I thought Byrne was pretty remarkable as a writer. I've always known him as a penciler. I'm sure you guys have too. As a penciler, along with Chris Claremont when they did the Dark Phoenix saga and all the stories from, what was it, from Uncanny X-Men 108 through 143, I think it was, from 1977 to 81. And then, of course, he became a writer. He did the Fantastic Four, writing and drawing for Fantastic Four, and he would lend his pencils to other books, other books, too innumerable to say. I can talk, I can. Too innumerable to mention. And somehow the offices of Marvel decided to direct his talents towards writing, only writing exclusively for Iron Man issues 258 to 277, all of which are collected in this book. And this has not been released ever, guys, since. This came out in 2014. This volume right here, it's so old. Guys, I actually literally had to super glue the edges on the front and back covers because they were splitting. It was actually splitting like that. So I had to use fucking super glue, which I don't really recommend unless you're highly skilled. Like, excuse me a second. I'm just putting the cap on. I don't recommend you guys using super glue on your books unless you're really experienced like I am. But it drove me nuts. This book is so old, guys. It's like 11 years old. Look at it. The pages are browning. This is by R.R. Donnelly, which was the first crew, the first production to make these epics. Now we have Salisco, but in the beginning, way back when, R.R. Donnelly was the first. That's why this book looks so thick. It's only 504 It's 504 pages, but I mean, you know, it's thicker than what Salisco does with their current pages. It's much thinner. But yeah, I started this on Friday. I could have finished this yesterday and done a review for you guys yesterday, but I was like, oh, I read 268 through 274 of this, and I was like, oh god, on Friday, I read the first 10 issues. So 258 to 266 I read. Then I was like, I was gonna hotshot and be like, I'll read the rest, 267 through Friday I read 258 through 267, and then yesterday I was thinking 268 through 277, but I was like, nah, I'm fucking tired. There was a lot happening here. I just got, my head was just like, oh, I'm fucking tired. So I decided to finish it off today, 275 to 277. 3 issues, but the 275 was a double-sized. And actually it was pretty like quick. Like, I read it within 10 minutes. It was very sparse in the dialogue. More visual, which I liked, and I appreciate that Byrne and Paul Ryan, were very sparse in the writing, and the art. The artwork was just tremendous. Okay, so I'm gonna put this down because I gotta use my hands to accentuate. So there's a lot happening in this volume, guys, which I was very pleased with. Let's start off with the first storyline. From 258 to 266, we had the Armor Wars 2, the sequel to Armor Wars. And for those of you who aren't aware, the first Armor Armor War. The first Armor War, which interchangeably was called and known as the Stark Wars, took place from issues 225, right? Yes. Guys, I'm doing this unscripted, so this is all me. I'm not gonna be some fake phony. I'm an alpha Chad, so I fucking do it like a man, just from his brain. 225 to 232, 232 being the epilogue of the Stark Wars, aka Armor Wars. I guess Armor Wars sounded way better, tougher than Stark Wars, but the initial storyline was Stark Wars parts 1 through, I don't know, 7, I think it was, right? Yeah, 7, 8. It was actually 8 part. Well, 7 part from 225 to 231, and then 232 was the epilogue, but that still counts together. Anyway, so Armor Wars 2, or Armor Wars 2, simply has, and this is from 258 to 266, Tony, the microchip that they implanted in him for him to walk, because remember, he got shot by Kathy Dare, got paralyzed, then they put in this microchip in issue 248 where he can walk. So now Tony's able to walk, he's able to be Iron Man, whatever, but now there's a cost. Apparently, 10 issues later in 258, we find out that someone is controlling Tony's mobility. And it's funny, they don't realize he's Iron Man. It's not like, oh, let's try to control Iron Man. Let's try to control Tony Stark. Okay, so they do. And throughout the course of this storyline, we discover that some dude named not Carson, but Kierson. Yeah, it's spelled Kearson. So it's Kierson DeWitt. Kierson DeWitt, who works for Mars Corporation. And Mars, it's this billionaire sibling twin couple named Desmond and Phoebe, who apparently are enemies of Namor the Submariner. At this time, Namor has his own series, which came out in 1990. I don't think it lasted too long, but he had his own series where Namor is now a businessman. He's now in a suit, and he has his own company. And I guarantee you that'll be an epic at some point. They'll probably continue the Namor Submariner epics like they did with Ghost Rider down the line. Anyway, so these guys, the Mars twins, have implanted the microchip inside Tony, and now they can control Tony. But they decide to let this guy DeWitt control Tony, and for the next 8-9 issues, it's a back and forth between trying to figure out who it is, who's controlling Tony, and he does. Oh, he does figure it out, and then he gets into this final battle with DeWitt, which, interestingly enough, DeWitt's like, this is my chance to have revenge against you, and I'm going to get you. But Tony doesn't even know who he is. We don't know. This is the first appearance of Kierson DeWitt. I don't know who the fuck he is. Excuse me. Alpha chatting. And yeah. And of course, Tony fights him in a big armor suit. That's pretty much the extent of the Armor Wars. There's no fight to, like he did in the first one, get every villain and hero who has the Stark technology. It's just merely him dealing with the manipulation of the microchip and him finding DeWitt, finding out it's the Mars Corporation behind it, and winning. And he does. DeWitt is dead. Still doesn't know who he is. The Mars, apparently it's implied that Tony's buying up Mars Corporation businesses, and that's how he's taking out the Mars Corporation. Let me just turn that a little so you guys see more of the epics there. And that's pretty much it of the Armors War. But I liked it, though. I liked it because in the background, the Mandarin has come back. The Mandarin, yes, and I did use the voice. Even though he's more modern and more like, and more like, he's more like that. I still voice him as, the Mandarin, Not racist, I promise. I'm just having fun, And if you are offended, guys, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Please keep your comments and your things going, guys. I love communicating with you guys. yeah, so the Mandarin's coming back. The Mandarin's looking for his thumb power ring, which apparently leads him to this dude named Shen Xiu. I think that's how it's pronounced. Shen Xiu, who is this old man in San Francisco, Chinatown, has the real power ring, because apparently Mandarin had a fake one, a dummy one. And so he visits Chen Xiu, and then Chen Xiu turns out to be a mystic, a wizard, a demigod, something that the Mandarin cannot defeat. And so he brings the Mandarin on a quest, which leads him to Fin Fang Foom. And for those of you who don't know, Fin Fang Foom is a giant green dragon who predates even the Fantastic Four by, I think, a month. In Strange Tales number 89, like a month before Fantastic Four number 1 came out, Fin Fang Foom was a character that Stan Lee, of course, in his infinite wisdom and his amazing writing, has to create a stereotypical Chinese dragon. And I'll leave it at that, because I'm not going to get into it about Stan Lee. But Fin Fang Foom now is brought into the Marvel Universe. He's now a character of the Marvel Universe. And the Mandarin and Shen Xiu bring him to life, bring him, as a character. And the Mandarin wants China. He gets 1/3 of China, because China's a big-ass country. And he gets 1/3 of it, and he wants more, of course. But interestingly enough, Shen Xiu is also a member of the dragon race that is Fin Fang Foom. And so it's revealed that thousands upon thousands of years ago, Shen Xiu and all the dragons and all of them came to Earth, came crashing in, Fin Fang Foom as well. And it's not really made clear if they want to conquer the world, but Shen Xiu and all these other dragons, this dude named Ping Pong or Ching Chong or Wo Ping, I forget his name. But him and 10 others, it's 10 of them. They come to Earth, they assimilate in society as humans, and will one day come for the gathering and take over the Earth. I don't know why they have to wait thousands upon thousands of years for this gathering. Who fucking knows? Who gives a shit? But apparently, there's 10 of them. So they compose the 10 rings, the power rings, which the Mandarin holds, and which the Mandarin acquired when he snuck onto a spaceship. So they basically rearranged the entire origin of... Oh, I didn't even mention, so 267 and 268 is a modern retelling of Tales of Suspense number 39. But they want to do away with excess knowledge and history of what Stan Lee wrote, because as we know, Stan Lee's a shitty writer. He is, guys. Come on, let's face it. At best, he's a charming writer, but at worst, he's a piece of shit writer. Stan Lee, no offense, I know I don't believe in heaven or hell, but I'm just saying, if he's somewhere listening to this, Stan Lee, you're not a good writer, but I'm sure you know that. Because Stan Lee pokes fun at his own writing. But that's off topic. Anyway, so John Byrne now has his own take on Stan Lee's origin story. And he bridges Wong Chu's connection with the Mandarin. The Mandarin is connected with Wong Chu in 267, 268, and also Fin Fang Foom. So he's also retelling the origin story from Tales of Suspense 61, 62, which showed how Mandarin got the rings. So now the alien dragon is tied to Fin Fang Foom. Fin Fang Foom is tied to the Mandarin. Wong Chu is tied to the Mandarin. Even at the end of 268, Mandarin sees Iron Man for the first time, but lets him live. That's the whole retelling of the whole thing. So now 269 was, well, I forget what 269 was, but it was a one-shot issue. Again, it's posted in my posts, guys, my breakdown of each issue. Then that leads us to the second big storyline from 270 to 275, the Dragon Seed Saga. And this is where finally Shen Xiu, the dragons, the Valley of the Dragons, the Mandarin, everybody comes together for the gathering. And Tony is here to get this microchip off his back, off his nervous system. It's now controlled his nervous system like a parasite. I hate that word, parasite. and he's trying to get it removed. Of course, he can't. He's there because these fucking Chinese, these communist bastards, are just using him, to get rid of the Mandarin. That's why he's there, by the way. In exchange for the operation, Iron Man has to get rid of the Mandarin for the Chinese people. He's been asked by the Chinese premier, which is basically the communist leader of China, to do away with the Mandarin. So okay, he's like, okay, I'll do it. But Rhodey, dumbass Rhodey, has it in his head that since Tony, his body's weakening because of the Mars twins, he has to wear this exoskeleton cybernetic suit, this encephalo helmet. He wore the Iron Man armor to keep the Mars twins and DeWitt from controlling him. So this whole volume is connected, but not really. It's together, but it's not. It's like its own separate. It's like part 1, part 2 of a giant storyline, but not really. If you guys can go with me on that. And so for the next 6 issues, 270 to 275, Tony has to bail Rhodey's ass out. His dumb black ass. That's how I gotta say it, guys. I love Rhodey. He's a good guy, but his dumb black ass gets him into trouble. Tony has to bail his ass out, bail China's ass out, and yeah, I'll say it. Their yellow asses out, and destroy the dragons, destroy the Mandarin. The Mandarin, by the end of 275, has no more hands. He's got stumps because Tony's got to power up the rings to destroy all these dragons. The dragons want the rings back. Chensu turns on the Mandarin. The Mandarin's like, no, I'm the Mandarin and I'm powerful. But of course, he and Iron Man have to ally together. They have to ally themselves against the dragons because the dragons are going to fucking destroy the world. And so I'm going to show you guys that picture because you guys aren't going to find it unless you guys can shell out over $100. I looked, I checked. On Amazon, it's not available. On eBay, it's over $100. So I will be showing you some pictures, guys. Or maybe I'll do it in the short. I don't know, guys. But you guys deserve to see what happens. And that's pretty much it. The Mandarin now has no hands. He's stumpy now. He's a stump. Which is pretty sad, but this was his doing, And then 276 and 277 is a 2-part. Oh yeah, so during the whole thing with the Dragon Seed saga, Natasha Romanova, the Black Widow, is like, here's my best Russian accent. Oh, I've got to stop the Russian, the October super sleeper soldier, sleeper agent. They literally say super soldier sleeper agent. That's the name of October with a K, by the way, not a C. October with a K. And it turns out that Natasha is October, which is weird. At the end of 276, she knocks out Tony. She's like, how dare you for your American chauvinism to think that October is a he when it's really a she. That's really the dialogue. But then it turns out in 277 that really Natasha is a good girl, good guy, and the deputy attaché cocksucker in the United Nations is the real culprit, and she was just flushing him out, and everyone's happy. Natasha's not the bad guy. The end. I know it sounds kind of lame, the ending, but it's actually good. So I'm going to put on my ugly glasses to show you guys some of the artwork. The first 2 issues have John Romita Jr. doing the artwork. Like I said, John Byrne is pretty much the main writer. He fights the Living Laser. I forgot to mention the Living Laser comes back during the Armor Wars too, and really puts a big fight up against Tony. Tony is so weak, he can't even fight the Living Laser or Vibro. Vibro even kicks Tony's ass, which is pretty fucked up. Vibro, guys. We're talking about Vibro here. By the way, how do you like my whiskers? Huh? I look like the Mandarin, kind of. The Mandarin looks like David Lopan from Big Trouble in Little China, which is one of my favorite John Carpenter movies, guys. If you ever watch that movie, check that out. Big Trouble in Little China. That's the title, with Kurt Russell. Love that movie. This is where he meets Chen Xiu. Yeah, the Mandarin. The Mandarin comes for the power ring, gets his butt whooped and handed to him by Chen Xiu in San Francisco, and Yeah, it's a whole fucking thing, guys. It's like while Tony's fighting in the Armor Wars 2, the Mandarin's gathering his power source, and then the Dragon Seed Saga with Iron Man and Shang-Chi, then the Fin Fang Foom. But meanwhile, Natasha's doing her thing with October, and then in the end, after the Dragon Seed Saga, October happens. But yeah, thank you. And James Rhodey, oh my goodness, right? James Rhodey, yeah, that's him. That's my black voice. He's like, oh my goodness, Tony. This is DeWitt. This is Kirsten DeWitt, who looks like the Mandarin kind of sort, or Tony Stark. If Tony Stark and the Mandarin had a baby, that would be him. Oh, look at this big fucking 2-page fold-out, guys. Wow, I'm already at 20 minutes, guys, but I feel like this might go 30 minutes. I got to show you, because you guys aren't going to get this, guys. Unless you're rich like me and can afford this book, guys. Oh my God, he gets his ass whooped. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I mean, it just continues. 265, then the conclusion, this mortal coil. Hold on, let me try to... Yeah, this is the last issue. So this is DeWitt in an iron... Not in Iron Man armor, in an iron armor, because this is the conclusion to the fucking saga. He looks like Lo Pan from Big Trouble in Little China, the Mandarin. Just a lot of explosions, too. All that. And then that's the end. And Vibro whoops his ass in 267, and that leads into the modern retelling of his story. So no more mention of the Vietnam War, because Marvel time. Then the question will be, how old is Tony Stark? If Tony Stark is a normal human, how could he still be young and be like 70 years old? So that's the problem. They have to answer that in 267, 268. All right, blah, blah, blah. Let's skip ahead, guys, because I don't expect you guys to watch the entire video. So I want to give you guys the good parts. So yeah, this is him being tricked by the Chinese premier to come to China and help his ass out, help have Iron Man help the Chinese out against Fin Fang Foom. Fin Fang Foom lights it up, guys. Look at that. Just that's Rhodey, by the way. Rhodey, in his black hubris, thinks he can take on Fin Fang Foom. This is the cover 271. By the way, it doesn't say the Dragon Seed Saga in 270 and 271. It starts at 272 all the way to 275. But it basically starts with 270. They just forgot to put it in because 271 goes into 272, like part 3, part 4, So I added it together. So 270 to 275 is a 6-part Dragon Seed Saga. But he does his best to fight Fin Fang Foom, gets his ass kicked right over here, and it's like, dude, you are done. You are toast. Meanwhile, Tony's getting the operation done, but the Chinese can't do anything about it, really. And he falls in love with the Chinese doctor, Su Yin, but meanwhile, she's married to another cripple who's also paralyzed. That's at the end of 275, the second story. Yeah, so see, this is where it says Dragon Seed Saga for the first time, and then they go in to tell the retold story of how Fin Fang Foom and the dragons came to Earth, and how they fought off the 10 power rings, and how they assimilated as humans themselves. And by the second storyline, the Dragon Seed Saga, now we have Paul Ryan instead of John Romita Jr. This is such a ripoff of John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China, of Lo Pan. But that's the Mandarin now. He's no longer wearing a stupid helmet. He's no longer, even though I still voice him like that. He's still, wait, that sound. Really, he's like, wait, that sound. That's really how he should sound like. But I'm still like, I always made my L's like R's. So like or love would be like right or love, And Shang-Chi, he's so Asian, yeah. At least their skin's not yellow, but, yeah, she's the Mandarin. I shall die. Oh, no, Iron Man shall die this day. Yeah. No. Really, how he should sound is Iron Man shall die this day. But I'm such a jerk. Oh yeah, at one point, Natasha's gonna enlist Captain America and She-Hulk to help her, but she's like, these people are such duds. I'll just go to Iron Man. More fighting, more Iron Man, more Mandarin looking like David Lopan from Big Trouble in Little China. Fin Fang Foom, actually. And then finally the dragons converge and they turn on the Mandarin. So now that forces Iron Man. Oh God, this cover is so awesome. Look at that. It forces Iron Man and Mandarin to team up against Fin Fang Foom and Shen Xiu and yada yada. And they're all green people. They're like humans who turn into dragons. And then, yeah, Mandarin's just like, I can't take this shit no more. Oh my God, I can't take it. Iron Man rides one of the dragons. It's like really fierce. It's like fantasy, but it's modern, like epic. Oh, look at this. Like he looks like, this is Rhodey, by the way. Rhodey and Tony are both in the Iron Man armor. He's still not War Machine yet. That's going to be next volume. But just, I love this picture. I love it, guys. Please forgive me, guys. This is already 25 minutes, but this just indulge me a little. You guys are probably never going to see this. Who knows if they're going to ever re-release this book? It's been 11 years and they still have not released it. But yeah, that's oh man, he touches fucking Rhodey in his, again, you know, black people have this hubris that they can do whatever they want because they're so tough. Yeah, nobody's afraid of them. But fucking, he's like, hey, Mandy. That's what Rhodey says. And then he's like, never touch me. Never touch me. And he just blasts Rhodey's ass. You know. It's so awesome, guys. He's got the 10 power rings. Yeah, I got the 10 power rings. I'm the Mandarin. I speak better English than you. If any of you have seen South Park and know that reference. Anyway, so Iron Man fucking lights that shit up. He puts his repulsor rays, the rays to the power rings, and he just loads this shit up, and then boom! Big ass explosion. Kills all the dragons, vaporizes everybody, and then we get, hold on. Okay, so then the epilogue to 275 just shows that Mandarin survives. He's in some Chinese village with some old woman and her granddaughter, and he's got stumps right there. I remember, by the way, my brother showing me this. This was what, 1991? So fucking 35 years ago, guys. This is 35 years ago. I remember my brother showing me that, and I just thought, wow, that's so cool. I was like, what, 10 or 11 back then in 91? I'm not old, because I'm, you know, stud. I'm Alpha Chad. But, you know, I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway, and then the second story just has him saying goodbye to Su Yin. He wants her to come to America with him, excuse me. He wants her to come to America with him. And then he goes and Tony breaks into the house and then meets the husband, and the husband turns out to be a cripple too. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I wanted to steal your wife away from you. Please forgive me. Such balls, you know? I love that in a way. That's such American, arrogant. That's why the world hates Americans, because we're so arrogant, especially a rich guy like Tony. But apparently the husband knew that that his wife and Tony kissed. Oh yeah, they kissed. Let me show you. Fucking Tony got some balls here. He just kisses this guy's wife, Su Yin. This is the doctor that's going to operate on him. He's like, I don't give a fuck. You're hot. I'm hot. You know, yeah. So this is 275's cover. Mandarin looks pissed as shit. I love it, guys. I really hope you guys can get this book. I hope they re-release it, a second print of this someday. Because you guys really need to read this. And yeah, Tony just takes off. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is how the Su Yin's husband lost the use of his legs. He was about to marry her, drives off, and breaks. He doesn't break. He breaks his spine. Kind of like Doctor Strange when he drove off, fucked up his hands. But that's it. Just Tony feels guilt, and he's like, okay, I won't take your wife from you. And he says goodbye to her, you know. And that's that, guys. And then we go into 276, 277. That's the two-parter where Natasha, October, all that stuff. Again, Paul Ryan, this is the last set of storylines that John Byrne works on, 277. I didn't get it, because at the end of 276, it's like, oh, Natasha's bad. She's like, how dare you? She's like, yes, but you have demonstrated an uncharacteristic chauvinism in assuming that October had to be a man. And of course she's like, hey, Boris and Natasha, moose and squirrel. You know, I don't know. It's just stupid. It's all right. Although they threaten Tony threatens to unleash Natasha on this guy, and he's like, "No, please don't do it." He's like, the very end, he's like, because it's KGB, he threatens KGB retribution on his ass. Yeah. All right, and then that's the end, guys. I love this because it shows the official Marvel Universe thing on the Mandarin. We get to see the Rings of Power, which I love. Right? All the power rings, what they all do, the 10 rings, which turn out to be alien dragon power sources to power their spaceship. And somehow the Mandarin managed to excuse me, alpha chatting, power up a spaceship. Oh yeah, and Fin Fang Foom also gets an entry there too. And then yes, this is the next book. God, look at this, guys. This is so early. These were the only released epics at the time. Look how small. Not even X-Men was released yet. Crazy, right? Look at that. Amazing Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Thor. Like, not that many. Yeah, 2014, guys. All right, so that's about it. Holy fuck, how long? Wait, hold on. 31 minutes, guys. This is a long one. Okay, so let's just wrap this up. This is going to be the next one, guys. War Machine. This is where Rhodey finally becomes War Machine, 92 to 93. And we get a shit ton of books, 278 to 289 of Iron Man, plus annuals 12 and 13, and materials from Darkhawk Annual 1, Avengers West Coast Annual 7, and Marvel Holiday Special number 2. I don't understand because the first appearance technically was 94 of Avengers West Coast, but that issue, Avengers West Coast 94, is not even included in this. So, I don't know. But this is the next one, guys. War Machine, Volume 17 of Iron Man. I think this is also not easy to find. I think this is also very expensive. I paid I think $70 for this. Yeah, seriously. So this cost me a bundle, but I got it. All right, guys, let me know in the comments down below. This was a super long video, but I thought you deserved it, guys, because War Games, Volume 16, which, by the way, the title borrows from issue 77 of October. Yeah, I made this extra long for you guys because I don't know if any of you guys will be able to afford. That sounds horrible. I hope you guys can afford to buy this book, guys. But that's War Games Volume 16. 11 years later, and we have not gotten a second print. So good luck to you guys if you can find it and track it down. Leave your comments down below, your likes, dislikes, subscribes, unsubscribes, whatever, guys. But I keep reading these epics so you don't have to. But I encourage you guys to read them and find them, buy them and read them and enjoy them, guys. All right, take care, guys. I'll see you in a couple days. Bye-bye.